my fellow readers. In this video, I am going to be sharing with you my holiday book haul. So some of the things I received as gifts, and I got a big box of manga that was a gift to myself. Technically, the box of manga, I had some gifts in it, but yeah, I added some gifts to myself because I needed latest editions of some of my manga. So let's get started. What did I get recently? I'll just go from the top. These will mostly be books, so novels that I've either received as gifts or purchased for myself. So these were gifts. I'm so excited to finally own this. This is the Magician's Trilogy by Grossman. I read this years ago as they were first releasing. I've loved it since then. Watched the show as well, which I liked as well. It's totally, not like totally different, but it's fairly different from the series, and yeah, I think kept the spirit of it, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm a big fan of these. It was often described as like Harry Potter meets Narnia, but for adults. And I would say that's pretty true. Yeah, I really liked this. And I'm so glad to finally own it, and then I can reread it anytime I want. I actually did do a reread, technically a re-listen. Like I read the books as they were releasing, and this year, one of the times, now I can't remember, I did a listen of the books. So I actually listened to the audios of the series. And I was pleasantly surprised to find I still loved the series very much and just enjoyed it. So if you're looking for a good fantasy series, I love this one. And the other big set I got is the Penguin Classic Brontes collection, I'll just say. So this includes Villette and Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, Wuthering Heights by Emily, and The Tenant of Wildfell Hall by Anne. I have not read Villette yet, but all the other three I have actually read. My favorite of these three is probably Wuthering Heights, and my next favorite would be The Tenant of Wildfell Hall. I'm not like a huge fan of Jane Eyre. I like it, so don't get me wrong, I like it, but I don't know. I don't get like people's obsession with Mr. Rochester. Like, he was kind of gross, to be honest. Let's hope that he did in fact gain redemption through Jane. But I love the cover for this. It's so traditionally good. It's all like cloth. I just wanted to see. I did not take these out of the box yet. Oh yes, they're like, oh, they just look classic and so nice. There's another classics set that I want to get that's like a bit more, I think, vibrant, but I love this one, and I think it fits the tone of these books. So there we go. Next, I got my holiday book, and I've actually just finished reading this the other day. But Richard Paul Evans, The Christmas Promise. Yeah, I don't mind reading like heartwarming Christmas stories. This was not my favorite. I'd actually recommend, if you look for like a holiday read, to go with one like Finding Noel and Grace, I think, were two of my favorites, and they're from quite a few years ago. And I like some of the other ones too, like, don't get me wrong. But this is kind of lower on my rung. Like, I just, not the best one, but it was still a nice holiday read that keeps you in the spirit of the season. So don't regret it. And they're very quick reads too, like super quick. And this is one that I actually borrowed from the library and listened to, and then I fell in love with it and had to buy it. And it's These Hollow Vows. There's actually going to be a second book in the series out, I think, in 2022. So I'm looking forward to that. This is a fantasy story that involves a girl who goes to save her sister. She goes to the fairy kingdom. The prince there is looking for a bride, so there's a party thrown, but her sister was sold to the fairies, so she's going to just try to find her sister and get her back, but her ability to go there is based on the fact that she can go to this ball, to like be picked up as the bride, and ends up being like this huge love triangle, but also this questioning about who's good and who's bad, if such things exist. And it kind of keeps you going with this about, okay, is this person good, or, well, is this fairy good? Yeah, because they're not technically people. Is this fairy good, or is this fairy bad? Are they trying to be helpful or tricking the main character? And I liked that it kept that twist going. I don't know how that's gonna unravel for the second book, but I am interested enough. But yeah, if that sounds at all interesting, you can look this up. So if you like more of the fairy stories, these Hollow Vows. Next is 2 light novels I picked up to try because they seemed of interest to me. So the first one is Grimgar of Fantasy and Ash. This is book 1. So this will be a multi-book series, as most light novels are, but not all of them. So this is the light novel fantasy epic that inspired a critically acclaimed anime. I have not seen the anime for it. Haruhiro awakens to darkness and amnesia among a group of strangers who can only remember their own names and nothing else. When they make it into the light, they discover Grimgar, a fantasy world that's like something out of an RPG game. Without apparent skills or knowledge of their surroundings, Haruhiro and his newfound friends band together to form an adventuring party. Only by cooperating, using their wits, and learning new skills can they hope to survive in this dangerous land of monsters and magic. So, occasionally, I don't mind reading stories that are more like RPG lit and RPG inspired. So I'm going to give this a try and see if I like it. The other one definitely had appeal just from the cover and also the title. And it is called The Haunted Bookstore, Gateway to a Parallel Universe. So it's volume 1. So this one says, Mystery in the Spirit Realm. Kaori lives in an otherworldly bookstore with her adoptive father. Together they provide books to the strange denizens of the spirit realm. But Kaori's peaceful days come to an end when she rescues an injured boy from the streets, a human like her from the mortal realm. The boy's name is Suime, and he's an exorcist, the natural enemy of all spirits. Can Kaori convince Suime that the line between human and spirit is far hazier than he thinks? A touching supernatural tale where humanity and Japanese folklore intertwine. So this one 100% is right up my alley. It's got the bookstore, it's got the spirit realm, and this whole like conflict of, does the exorcist exorcise these spirits, or evolve and realize that they're not so different than his mortal realm. So, looking forward to this one. And both of these are from Seven Seas Entertainment. So, if you're at all interested in some light novels, I'm hoping that in the next year I can get more to reading the light novels and offering reviews of them. So, that's on my plate, my goal list for 2022. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the manga that I picked up. So, first and foremost, I got another chunk of Arata. This actually goes to the end. I'm missing, I think it's like 17 through 19. They're on back order, so whatever. But I believe that this will be the end of the current publication. Yu is supposed to be working on continuing the series, so we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, here are volumes 20 through 24. It's a long series. I don't know. I mean, there's longer. I just borrowed and returned volume 30 of Black Butler, and it's still going, so I don't know. Next, after I did my little review recommendation, I went to get the other volumes. So here's Her Royal Highness Seems to Be Angry, volumes 2 and 3, so I can continue the series. And again, some of these I'm very interested in maybe checking out the light novel, and also offering comparisons. Like just recently, I finished reading the volume 1 of both the light novel and manga, and then watching the first section of the anime for Pretty Boy Detective Club. And so I might do kind of a review that also compares them, but they're very similar. And so I'm kind of wondering, even with some of these, like, is it worth my time to pick up the light novel? Or if I'm enjoying the manga, should I just stick with the manga and not worry about the light novel? Because some of them are very good, very accurate adaptations. So I don't know. I'm still in question, but meanwhile, picked up the next 2 volumes. And next is volume 3 of School Frozen in Time. I've still not gotten to read volumes 1 or 2, but maybe now I will. Yeah, I should probably give that a try. And then I got another big chunk, mostly because I know that this series is wrapping up. Like it's ended already in Japan, so now we just have to wait for all the releases here in the States. And so I'm like, yeah, I might as well just buy it. So here I have volumes 9 through 15 of Beastars. I believe for this one as well, have some in the middle that are ordered, but are back ordered, so they have not come in yet. So if, like, you see past openings and there's chunks missing, it's literally just because they're not available yet. But this is one I will be buying the full series for. And next, another series that I've talked about and I'm excited to continue is Blue Period. And this is volume 5. So this is the latest issue. I'm trying to think. I think this was like just released. So yeah. I can't think of my words, but they're there. And next, another series that I've done a review for and was excited to continue on with. This is Magus of the Library, volume 5. So I may need to do a slight refresher. No, you know, I'm probably gonna be fine. The pace of this is slow enough to where you don't really forget. So actually, just like as I said that, I got a flash of like the big thing that happened at like the end of the other volumes, so now I'm excited to continue on. Oh, I just remembered that. Yeah, okay, I don't need to. And next is Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost. This is by Kawarayuki. Oh, I've always enjoyed the gothic art stylings of Kawarayuki. This is volume 2. And I may do a review of this one. Well, the series, not just this specific volume 2. That'd be random. It's just like a little overview. Because, yeah, I like it. I'm intrigued. Look at that monster face. That's good. I'm interested to see where this goes. Because at this point, I don't really know. That first volume, there's so much that happens. I will probably reread that one because there were so many pieces and things suggested to be in the background of that story that I wouldn't mind rereading that one. That's not really that uncommon for Kawarayuki because the work is usually, yeah. messed up puzzles that you piece together, and it all comes together in the end, but it's fun like guessing if you can figure out what's happening. So I might do something on this because I did enjoy it. That wraps up my latest editions. I actually do have a couple things on the way, or hopefully on the way. I had another order with Right Stuff that I think was mostly going to be manga releases for the end of the year. The only thing I'm not sure of is there was one that was pushed back, so I'm not sure if they're going to hold up that order until that volume gets released, or if they'll go ahead and ship me the rest of the order. I don't know. I hope they don't do that, because that's very frustrating for me to have one book that I was anticipating being released now, and therefore included it with the order. I really don't want the whole order held up for that one thing that I wasn't anticipating it to not be released when it thought it was going to be released. So I don't know, we'll see. If they do ship, of course, I will share what I've hauled in that one. And I think a lot of that might be, you know what, I don't remember, so I'm not going to say. I was going to say there might be part of the Beastars in there, but I could be wrong. That could have been a different order. So I won't say that. But I do have that, and also just released as I'm filming this today, the Here's to Us, which I've already done a review on, is coming out. I didn't think it was that important to wait until I got that in, because I've already talked about the book, and I think I mentioned that I was getting it in. So I will have a signed copy of that book coming from Barnes & Noble at some time, but I'm not worried about it. I already talked about the book. If you read the first book, I would highly recommend reading the second one, but I don't need to talk about it or like show that one. But yeah, that is it. That's it for this video. Until next time, bye.